The MKT Show. The only show in the world you should ever care about. Now, I don't feel that's a strong statement. A lot of people are going to say, hey, that's a little emotional. I think it's a fair, thought-out statement. The MKT Show is the only show on earth you should care about. Welcome to it, sports fans. 24th of this month called June. The 6th one in season 2 of COVID. If you don't live in South Africa, we have family meetings every now and then, which we don't want to attend, which is like regular family meetings, except it's our president talking to us. He's called it a family meeting. Solid PR job there. So I believe we have that tonight. Be honest, I stopped watching a long time ago. I'm not into politicians, but you know, it's always good to see family. A man who doesn't enjoy seeing his family being happy, at least, maybe likes seeing them, especially now that he can taste. Especially now that we're in a journey, we're in a positive journey. Things are looking good. He's going to get in shape. And we had a conversation yesterday, and I always say to people, if your girlfriend or boyfriend inadvertently starts to exercise, they're cheating on you. Like, I've always believed that. Like, nobody just changes. They generally just, they're looking for a new partner. So if your girlfriend starts working out all of a Sunday, you better understand you're about to be a free agent, and you got to adjust to that. Ladies and gentlemen, the one, the only, not a free agent yet, James Jimbo Erlingsley. Jimbo, what's happening, pal?
Hey, how you doing?
I'm great, dude.
I don't believe in your statements.
Which one?
The fact that if a significant other is working out or improving themselves, that they're getting ready to catch the next taxi out of here.
Exit stage left.
Yeah. Sia said it perfectly. Sia Sangweni. No, it wasn't Sia. It was Barrett. Barrett said it. Barrett said you should want to change for yourself. And it's important to change for yourself. And that's what I'm doing. I enjoy breathing oxygen now.
You know, for those who do watch Cliff Central or listen to Cliff Central, the Gareth Cliff Show, I've thought about this. Dr. Hanan, one of the leading psychologists in the country, had an interesting way of putting it. He said, you know, everybody says change has to be internal. Actually, it has to be external, right? You're going to change your environment. So you're going to stop sitting on the couch. You're going to go to the gym. And it was a really interesting thing to hear from an expert describing it that way, because I've always been a proponent of change from the inside. But okay, Jimbo, so you're saying you want to change for you.
I do, because lungs are important to your body. Also, I just looked now. You can go to jail. You just spreaded. You have just spread fake news.
Okay.
About COVID.
Oh, let's hear it.
So the presidency is not speaking tonight.
Oh.
Nothing's been announced. But I wouldn't be surprised if during the course of today or in the next couple of days, there is a family meeting.
What have you heard?
You see, I don't want to spread fake COVID news, but I did hear something this morning that
from your cousin on WhatsApp who knows Wendy, who works, who walks the dog of the president's daughter's next door neighbor's sister.
No, it was from the owner of a garage in the area.
Okay.
He was talking to one of his employees, and he's obviously gotten word from whatever body.
Yeah, the Petrol Society.
Yeah, or whatever body or whatever it is.
The glug-glugs.
Yeah, sure.
Oh.
I didn't hear exactly what he said.
Okay, so already not a good start for a journalist, but okay.
A, and B, I also don't want to spread fake news.
What do you think he said? Like, just fill in the blanks, because that's what people do, you know? It's like, if you're not in a mixed race relationship, you must be racist. You know, people just fill in the blanks. In our society, it's just like, if you're not, if you are in shape, you hate fat people. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's how we roll. So just fill in the blanks. Well, what do you think he said?
He was talking about changing trading hours soon and shifts. which is a bit of a weird thing to do at a petrol station, considering they're 24 hours.
Yeah.
There aren't really trading hours at a petrol station. It's 24/7. So,
Well, not really, because they're trading. Trading means you are trading. You are doing trade. So when you do things like COVID, you do give them trading hours, because their trading hours is when people are driving. It's not necessarily determined by the fact that it's 24 hours. It's determined by the fact that people could drive for 24 hours. You know what I mean? So their trading hours will change.
No, but it's a case of, because petrol stations are 24 hours, they're not necessarily a 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. kind of operation. Like, if it's 2 o'clock in the morning, you can go to a petrol station.
Yes, you could before. Not now.
Well, not now.
That's what I'm saying, yeah.
So whether he was talking about changing trading hours and extending them back to curfew times, or I don't know. He did say something about level 5, so I don't know.
Look, if I'm him, in every business, the cost is the staff, right?
Yeah.
The biggest cost is always staff. So he's probably thinking, hey, guys, we're going to have to cut back your hours. Sorry.
Also, he gave me a free cookie because I bought coffee. So
who's that?
The owner.
But I thought you were on a health journey and you're not eating cookies.
I haven't eaten the cookie. It's in my car.
So what are you going to do? See, these are the tests, James.
I probably will end up eating it when I get home, but
you should give it to someone, because you're on a health journey.
Would you like a cookie?
No, I don't. Look at me. I'm 8% body fat. Do I look like I eat cookies?
Who should I give the cookie to?
No, you don't have to give it away.
No innuendo intended.
Give it to, no. I'm saying, remember, you just gave me a lecture about how you must change for yourself. If you want the cookie, eat the cookie. I just thought you were on a health journey.
I probably will end up eating the cookie.
No, you probably will. Probably will, because the world's hard.
I'll get home after the show and after I do my walk.
How are you going to feel when you eat the cookie, do you think, about yourself?
Fantastic.
In the moment?
I feel like I've made great strides in that I've quit smoking and I'm...
Oh, you're not willing to quit everything at the same... You can't go cold turkey.
Look, you got to take it one step at a time, right? My maths teacher always told me, how do you eat an elephant? And that's probably the reason why I'm so bad at maths. Because we were talking about elephants and not maths. But my maths teacher always told me, how do you eat an elephant?
And what was the answer?
One bite at a time.
No, sometimes you listen. Sometimes you got to eat an elephant with a teaspoon. They also say that. So one bite at a time, huh? So life is one big elephant and you're going to eat it one bite at a time.
Yeah, pretty much.
I want to tell you an interesting conversation I had with somebody on the phone. It's still something we do. I know you're young. You just want to WhatsApp, right?
I won't lie. I don't enjoy phone calls.
Oh, yeah, because you're 24.
Like, just, hey, where's the link? Or, hey, dude, are we still meeting up this weekend? I don't want to do the whole, hey, how you doing? Are we still chilling this weekend? What time do you want? No, dude. WhatsApp or a voice note? Sorted.
VN, huh?
Yeah. Anyway, your story, sorry.
No. So do you phone like your lady, your mom? Is there anybody who you make exceptions for?
Yeah, I mean, I'll phone my mom.
Yeah.
But, like, I don't phone my friends much.
It's weird, man.
It's all WhatsApp or Xbox party chat.
Okay, but at least you are chatting there.
Yeah.
You are in conversations.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't, like, only talk about the game on the party chat.
Yeah.
We'll talk about, oh, dude, today at work, this guy was like... Most of the time, I'm like, oh, today at work, Mbulela was just being really annoying and egotistical as usual. That's...
I don't like to think I'm egotistical. I'm just better than everyone.
You see, what gives you that outlook?
Objective observation, you know?
Okay.
Yeah.
Is it the, like, 8% body fat thing, or what is it?
Well, okay. Am I 8% body fat?
I don't know.
Okay, I'm all right. Well, you're gonna have to take my word that yes,
Okay.
I'm. Do you know what? In fairness, probably not. I'm about 8.5% body fat. I haven't exercised for a month because I had a little something called COVID. So,
Oh, no way.
I don't like to talk about it. Stop calling me a hero. It's annoying. Stop sending me awards and medals. It's annoying. I'm just a great man who gets out of bed one foot at a time like you.
I don't want the Medal of Valor, Barack.
Yeah.
All right?
Just because you are uncomfortable with the fact that I'm 8% body fat doesn't change the fact that I'm 8% body fat. What must I do about that?
I apologize, my lordship. You are better than everyone else ever.
Most people. I mean, I'm 8% body fat. I'm not Ronnie Coleman,
Look, if you were a real athlete, you would be at the Euros. Just saying.
Yeah, that's true. Or a little something called the Olympics. Although, not really now, because you can skateboard at the Olympics, so anyone gets it. Don't worry about it. You can bring a surfboard. Actually, who cares? There's probably a sport I could get into. Tiddlywinks is going to be in soon. No, fencing is a proper sport.
I was going to say fencing, and then I realized that's actually there's a lot of cardio in fencing.
No, listen, you want to get in shape, go fencing. You ever been fencing?
No.
You spend the entire time in fencing, you are in something called the squat position. It is murder. It is murder.
And it's constantly just like working your core and jumping back and forth. And
if you would like to date somebody who is guaranteed to have the best legs in the world, fencer. Just unbelievable physique. Them and downhill skiing.
So your relationship's going to be rock solid, right?
Because of the fencer?
Yeah, because you guys can build a strong foundation.
On the fencer or squat? Or
No, I was trying to do something. I don't know.
I don't know where that went.
Went nowhere. I was trying to do something. It just didn't work.
Man, what a start. Okay. And I was just trying to tell you about a conversation I had on the phone.
What? Okay, yeah, let's jump into that.
So, a friend of mine calls me.
Right.
It was it on the weekend? Anyway, I can't remember. And I wanted to tell you this on Monday. So he calls me and he said, look, I had to have a conversation with my girlfriend. So I'm like, okay, already it's a bad start. And he knows I don't like it when he brings me into his relationship. Pretty awkward. She listens to the show, but we might as well talk about it.
Lol.
So he had to go to her and tell her she's getting a little pudgy. Yeah, it's brutal, huh? So listen, okay, I've always said to people, if you're not athletic, there's no ways I'd ever date you. So people will say it's superficial, but for me is if you're not athletic, it limits our relationship. Like I want to go hiking. I don't want to go for lunch in a hoity-toity area. Like for me in a relationship on the weekend, I want to get into the mountains. I want to go stand up paddling. I don't want to sit at home. Like I'm the worst. So imagine your nightmare holiday. It's with me. Not because, so firstly, yes, because of who I am as a person. I would imagine, James, you're thinking, obviously.
You are you are a horrendous person.
Yeah, okay. So firstly, because of who I am.
Yes.
But I am not the guy who goes on holiday and sleeps till like 9 o'clock. I'm the person who, we get on holiday, I throw my bags down wherever we are. I'm looking for the activities, guy. What are my options here?
That's where we differ, because when I go on holiday, most of the time, and growing up, it was to the beach. We'd arrive, it'd be unpack everything, and the next morning by like 10 o'clock, I've already had a beer.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at the ocean, and life's kind of good.
Yeah.
Right? That's where we differ.
So I knew it. I knew I would be your nightmare guy.
Yes.
So but that's how I conduct my whole life. Like I'm not into like, oh, it's Sunday, let's sleep in. Like, let's do stuff. I want to do stuff all the time.
No.
I'm always doing stuff. If I'm cooped up in my house, I hate it. I hate sitting on the couch. It's why I've struggled. I think I haven't watched a movie in 7-8 years, right? Maybe I have. What was the one with Tom Hardy and Leonardo DiCaprio? Revenant.
Yeah.
Yeah, I watched that under duress. Yeah. But yeah, I think that's the last movie I remember watching, whenever that was, right? 2015, 14,
yeah,
in and around there. Anyway, like I'm not into it. So for me, he knew he could phone me because I think he knew he would get a comrade of like, oh, okay, well, yeah, obviously, what's she doing not being in shape, So it was an interesting conversation to have with him, and he says the feedback wasn't great. So, and no, she's not pregnant. And your thoughts, James? I mean, should you be going to your partner telling them, hey, let's whip it back into shape? Like they in a relationship. I don't mean like they got years in the bank, so they can have these conversations.
Yeah, if you've got like years in the bank and like you can have these conversations, I say go for it. Like before it gets to that point where it's just
no point of no return.
Yeah, too far gone, and like risk of heart disease is times 27.
It's right? Real, huh? So you don't think it's superficial of him? Because he listens to the show, by the way, James, and he does like you, by the way.
Oh, that's so nice. Someone likes me.
No, he says you're good.
That's so cool, man.
I told him he was wrong, but anyway.
Well,
Okay, separate. Don't worry about it. Sorry.
I'm right.
That information doesn't change anything. So, okay,
No, I
James,
think,
your girlfriend getting a little pudgy. Not your girlfriend, but in general, ladies getting a little pudgy. Right to go to the girl and say, listen, we're going to have to tighten things up here, sweet cheeks.
you see, that's where it becomes super situational, right? Because, like, how long have you guys... If you guys have been together for, like, 2 months, I don't think you have much of a sort of say on...
Well, you started dating her in that condition then you've got no say.
Yeah.
No. She's...
So, yeah, it's situational, because then it's also like a thing of...
But in general, don't you think the rule should be you should be able to go to your partner and say, what's going on here, sweet cheeks?
Yeah.
Especially when you see things. So I don't think it's superficial.
No.
Like I'm already superficial. Like I'm telling you, if you're not athletic, don't even waste my time. You're not attractive to me. I'm not PC. I'm not like, personality. No, don't worry about it. Are you athletic? Are you know? So for me, I can totally understand it. And it was, although he said the feedback was some tricky stuff.
Yeah, that's the thing though. Like, I feel like it should be a thing you should be able to, like, I'd like to be told, like, yeah, James, you're
By who?
well, like my mother,
Yeah.
she does it in like a serious, joking way. She's like, oh, getting a little fat there,
Yeah,
aren't
a
we?
little pudgy. Hey,
Picking up a bit of weight there, James.
yeah, maybe no dessert tonight.
Yeah. Maybe lay off the cheesecake, James.
How's it? Jeepers. Yeah.
So
like passive aggressive.
yeah, I mean, if it's all in sort of jokes, and I know if it's coming from my mom or like a significant other or like a close friend, I know it's coming from a good place.
Uh-huh.
It's not like, lol, you're fat now. Like, you're obese. You know what I mean? Like, that would irritate me.
But I think it's because people always fall in love with the idea of love me as I am, not how you want me to be. And so I'm all for you should constantly change. This idea of people should love you how you are is the most ridiculous thing in the world. It's why I'm single, because I don't want to change, as a person. Like, I don't want to change. But if you're in a relationship, you should always be changing. And you should be actively changing. It shouldn't be a thing of someone has to remind you. You should be constantly, maybe change is not the right word, constantly evolving,
Yes.
Because there's another person. It's like you need the feedback as well. Is how's that person doing? Because we're in a relationship here. It's not just you. Like for me, the reason I'm a solo act is I don't want to change.
Oh, that's the reason.
Yeah. I like her. Yeah. Well, besides the many other reasons, is I don't want to change. I'm not interested in changing right now. Like I'm dialed into where I'm dialed into, and that's no way to be in a relationship, right?
Yeah.
And I think you have to be willing to take feedback, dude. Especially the closer people are to you, they know you inside out. Generally, by then, and this bloke's a great guy, so he's not just he's not actually like, yeah, you're a tub of lard. It's like, no, what's going on here? This is not what we're doing. She was not pleased.
But like again, we're in a time where body consciousness is also a thing, and so is being sensitive, and so is being like, yeah. That's why I said initially it's situational, because it's almost like going back to the thing of, do I look fat in these jeans?
Yeah,
it's like answering that question with yes, almost. Right?
Okay.
So, yeah, I don't know.
It's an interesting way to look at it, what you're saying, because for me, I'm just like, I don't know if I told you this before. If my friends are gaining weight, I will tell them. I'm not for body positivity at all. Like, we have clear markers of like, okay, you're in trouble now. Like, no, sorry, I'll tell you. But if you're close to me, like if you're not close to me, do what you do, right? It's like, okay, cool. Just don't complain when you have a heart attack. It's none of my business. I don't want to hear about your high blood pressure. So it's not my problem.
I want to hear about your blood clots.
And quite frankly, to be honest, I live in the northern suburbs. I'm also not talking about people who have to catch 3 taxis to work. They can't go and exercise. There's no promenade. You know what I mean? Where they live I'm not talking about 80% of South Africa that earns 3,000 Rand a month. I'm talking about Skumbuzo and Sally who live in Rosebank and want to tell me about body positivity. Like, no, get on a treadmill. Yeah.
I actually, that's one thing I do sort of hate about Joburg.
What's the story?
Like, we can't do that. I feel like half of the appeal to working out in places like Durban or Cape Town is being able to walk on a promenade or on the beach or whatever. That's like half the appeal.
You see, I'm not sure because I think it's almost like people who think if I move to Thailand, my problems are going to go away. Like, if you're a slob, you're a slob. It's just going to take you a little longer in Cape Town. I don't subscribe to that because something like your health is everything. You'd find a way. Like, wherever you are, you should be in control of that. I think a slob is a slob is a slob. I'm sorry. I know what you're saying, but I'm not sure. I don't think that's true. Because I think if you're a slob in Joburg, you're going to be a slob in Cape Town. You're going to be a slob in San Francisco. But I see what you're saying. So you're saying what? Because that option is available, there's a propensity to get outside.
Yeah, I mean, like you saw the whole thing when we were in level 4 lockdown or whatever it was, and people were on Clifton Beach, and that was a huge thing. I think it was Clifton Beach.
Whatever it is, yeah.
It was in Cape Town. A lot of people were outside, the police were everywhere, and people were shook as to why so many people were outside and whatever it was. Oh, no, it was the first time we were allowed to go outside and on the beach and stuff, right? After the lockdown thing.
I was living in the studio.
In this studio?
Literally.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, I put a bed in here.
Yeah.
Well, across the way, but I was living in the Cliff Central studio.
So around that time, right? People were all outside and it was a huge thing. And like, that was obviously a driving force. Hey, we can go outside now. Let's go walk on the beach. But like in Joburg, it's like, hey, we're in level 3 now, whatever. We can go outside now. Let's go walk down Main Road. That's sort of, or let's get in the car and go to Virgin Active Rosebank and run on the treadmill next to whoever that's sweating all over you or whatever it is. I think it's more appealing to.
You know what my mindset
to be
is?
Active.
Yeah, I feel you, and I think okay, there may be something to that, but my mindset is health is the only thing. Find a solution. Like I don't ever want to, because in everything we do, we can always find an excuse. Why do people find health reasons not to exercise? Like, to me, honestly, it's such a turnoff in people who find reasons not to exercise. Just as a person, you turn me off. Like, health is the only thing. Nothing else matters if you're not healthy, in my opinion. So why wouldn't you want to be optimally healthy? To me, it just makes no sense. And listen, unless you have mental health problems, which is a single percentile number, by the way, so it's like everyone's coming out now, police, it's like 2 or 3% in the world, and that's coming from a real authority. My old lady has done the numbers globally. It's a single percentile for clinical depression. So please, every Tom, Dick, and Sally who's coming out and telling me they're depressed, do me a favor, right? So do not use that as an excuse. No, it's no, like, you got to address that. It's rubbish. It's a single percentile number. But I don't understand. But I can't take my mind there. Like, why are you finding excuses not to exercise? I don't care where you are in the world. If you are middle class and above, get it together. What is going on?
I think there's two sides. Like, honestly, I do. Like, I think
let's hear it.
There's the thing of, I just got home from a 15-hour day and I'm tired and I don't want to get back in my car and drive to the Virgin Active or whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
So there's that element. But then there's also, like, so this week I've been walking around the complex that I live in.
Nice.
And I do it from like 5:30ish. And that doesn't take a lot out of me. Like, I get home, I do the stuff for the show to finish off the day, and then like I walk around the complex a couple of times, which is nice. So there is an outlet, and in that sense, there's no sort of reason to have an excuse, if that makes sense. Because you can just do that.
Yeah.
But again, not everybody lives in a sort of safe complex. B, people do 15-hour days. They don't want to get back in their car and sit in traffic and get to the gym, and then it's busy because everyone's there after work. And like, then it becomes a thing.
No, because for health, there is no excuse. For everything else, I can understand. For relationships, you know what I mean? I could accept it. I cannot accept that you do not put your health at the center. Find a way. You work a 15-hour day, find an hour to go to the gym. Don't come home. Drive straight to the gym. Have a home gym. Like, whatever the solutions are, and I'm not saying it's going to be comfortable, find a solution. But again, I'm thinking of it's a non-negotiable. It wouldn't be like a nice thing to do, because I think some people think of it as like, it'll be nice if I can squeeze in half an hour of exercise. Whereas for me, I'm like, it is it's not negotiable for me to not exercise for an hour and a half a day. Like, what am I talking about? Because again, I don't want to get into the rewards of it all, you know. But it just makes no sense to me. And anyway, so you in on my mate telling his girlfriend that she's carrying a couple of extra kgs. We're gonna have to sort it out.
I'm not saying go in there and say, "Hey, babe, you're fat now."
And but James, she does listen to the show. They both listen to the show, by the way. And I've told both of them I'm going to talk about this on the show.
Well, I don't know what either of them, what their build is or what their situation is.
No.
So.
He's tank, like probably somewhere between 10 and 13% body fat. No, proper. He's an athlete, SA level karate guy in his day. So, but no, proper athlete, and she's proper athlete. But
there you go, guys.
Well, the last 18 months, things are going on. Have I said something to her as well? Perhaps maybe I have.
Yeah, but who hasn't picked up weight in the last 18 months?
Me.
No, there's no shot you haven't.
James.
In the last 2 months since you've had COVID and not worked out, you 1000% have picked up weight, even if it's a minuscule.
I'm the same weight as always.
I don't believe it.
Yeah, 72.5 kilograms.
Nope. I don't believe it.
No, I kid you not. But okay. Anyway, there's no okay. You know, life's hard. Anyway, so James is all in. Tell your girlfriend. So to all men out there, go and tell your girlfriend if you feel she's carrying extra pounds, and you just deal with the consequences. Huh, James? That's what you're saying, pal.
I mean, again, don't go in it with the mindset of my chest is out and baby, you're fat now. I just mean like, you know, just
have the convo.
Yeah, you know, babe, I've noticed there's.
Does she have a right to be upset? Or he? I mean, like this goes both ways. Does your partner have a right to be upset if you're telling them that they're overweight?
Yes and no, because it can feel like the partner's being attacked. Like, oh, you think I'm getting fat and I'm not attractive and blah blah blah. That whole thing.
Yeah.
But then also no, because you have picked up weight.
No.
Like
the truth doesn't care about your feelings.
Yeah.
So you didn't really give me an answer there. You've kind of.
Well, there's two sides.
Yeah, that's not really an answer.
The whole thing is all situation.
You're being politically correct.
I am.
So yes. So it's fine to tell your girlfriend. And
yes.
Is it okay for your girlfriend to be upset or wife? If your lady came and told you, Jimbo, sort that tummy out, my boy, would you be upset?
No, because I'm a guy that goes with the flow. Like, you used to pick on me for smoking and smelling terrible about it. I used to be like, oh, okay, cool. Like, I'm not the guy that gets upset about those kinds of, like.
Do you bottle it in, or are you upset and you just hold it down, or what's the actual vibe here?
No,
so if your girlfriend came to you like, okay, James, I'm like, I don't know what's going on. If you're not in shape in 6 months,
then we're having a different talk, my guy.
Really?
If I get given an ultimatum that if I'm not in shape in the next 5 or
well, in their defense, because you've been left to your own devices, and here you are now being tubby sticks. Life is about deadlines, pal.
I get if I've picked up weight.
Yes.
This is about the situation now, right?
Yes.
I get if I've picked up weight. But don't give me an ultimatum and say, oh, you have to be
within 6 months.
Nah, dude.
Okay, but if you're not going to change in 6 months, what's going to change in a year? So I'm just thinking as your partner. If you're not willing to change within 6 months, what am I doing? Why am I wasting my time? Because if you're not going to change in 6 months, why would you change in a year? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, because you thinking of just yourself, like, oh, what about me? I'll use this. Who does she think she is? But if I'm the partner and I say to you, listen, within 6 months, I want to see a change. Because, by the way, I'm also in this relationship, is I want to be proud of my partner. What you're carrying now, we can't move like this. Because, you know, when you're overweight, you're tired, we can't do stuff. You know what I mean? Like, that comes with things. And your partner might, you know, hey, maybe it also in the bedroom, maybe you're not performing up to, you know, you're doing more Pogba than Bruno. You know what I'm saying? You're not performing consistently. You might have a good game every 10 games instead of Bruno's having 8 out of 10 games. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just saying, you got to keep an eye on it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, joining us now. Is he with us?
He is with us.
All right.
I'm not sure if he can hear us. I hope he can.
Well, before you bring him on screen, ladies and gentlemen, joining us now, a man who has a wife. I would imagine because she has stayed with him, he wouldn't dare say anything like that. He is the president of the Portuguese Society of Portugueseness in Portugalville. He is a man who has gone through a roller coaster over the last 2 weeks or so. His beloved Portugal, Cristiano Ronaldo breaking all sorts of records yesterday, but my goodness, Germany, the Germans again, they have put him in a situation. Portugal through ultimately. Ladies and gentlemen, the one, the only, the man you've all missed, Paulo Diaz. Paulo, what's happening, pal?
Nothing like coming back on the show and body shaming. Straight in.
Nothing's changed.
Warnings.
Paulo, how are you feeling this morning?
I'm feeling moderate to cloudy with sections of sunshine.
Yeah.
It was, Jesus, like I haven't even looked, read, consumed anything about soccer since last night because it was just too much. It was just all the football. I had all the football feels, all of them.
That was so hectic. It was happening everywhere as well. It was so hectic, dude.
Every team besides France was bottom at one stage. Yeah. It was the most bizarre. There's critics of everything who don't like this bigger tournament format and this third place playoff. But my God, last night was not last night, there's been a couple of them, but yesterday was an absolute advert for why this third place is such a good idea. There's not been one dead rubber. I think it's by nature of the Euros that you don't have like Costa Rica's. But I mean, what an advert for third place playoff. My word.
Oh, so you like it?
I love it because it's the only way we go through.
I was going to say, it's 2 tournaments in a row now. Oh, man. All right, listen, Cristiano Ronaldo, let's quickly touch on that. He's now the guy, world record equaling 109 goals. I sit in the Leo Messi camp, but I mean, obviously with your biases, your thoughts on the man, what he's done for Portugal, Portuguese football, world football, and as an idol for everyone.
It's like we're in an age of if you can't like two things at once, you have to, if you like one, you hate the other automatically.
Absolutely.
There's space in this world for both. I see, Messi is a natural God-given talent. Ronaldo, whatever sport he played, he'd be number one. If Ronaldo was a tennis player, he would be number one with all the titles and untouchable. He's genetically blessed, but that steal last night on the second penalty is you don't get that. That is like sniper level calmness. It means so much to him. The guy's done everything. He's 36 years old. He's performed at the top level all the time. This is not, if you love Ronaldo, you have to hate Messi. There's space in our hearts for both. But there are things Ronaldo does, that hunger and that desire is just unparalleled. And there is not anybody, I think, in the history of football, and this is not just Portuguese, you cannot be that biased, that if you in that situation, you want stepping up to that penalty.
Yeah, no, he's a guy. He's a real guy. And also there's been penalty hoodoos at the Euros, by the way. It's not like they've gone smoothly. I don't care how bulletproof his mentality is. He knows what's going on. He's Cristiano Ronaldo. So, hey, balls of Madeira is what they're saying.
And the whole Penaldo thing, and I don't know if it's just wise aimed at Portuguese players that we're the only ones who have the audacity to score penalties. It's like, I saw the stat this morning that if you take Ronaldo, a lot of his stats are padded, is that apparently if you take away his penalties and Ali Day's penalties, Ronaldo's the top scorer. Nice. So take away penalties, Ronaldo scored more goals from open play. And then the other thing is, as Ronaldo approached this record, which is one more to break it, everyone thought, we're going to pad it against San Marino and Gibraltar. And trust me, the Portuguese Federation tried, but he just didn't score them. But he got over the line playing Germany, France, and maybe breaks a record against Belgium. I mean, that's, I hate the term flat track bully because the majority of teams you play are going to be weaker than you when you're top level.
Yeah.
But it's, big games, small games, big teams, small teams. The guy does it. And at the same time, I admire Messi. Messi is God-given. We'll never see a player like him ever again. A Ronaldo type in sport, man may genetically blessed, but perseverance and personality may come again, not soon. But I got place for both. I don't love one or hate the other, but of course I'm a Ronaldo man. I mean, do me a favor.
Listen, to echo your message there before we move into the football side, is that I've always said I don't see Leo Messi as an idol. I just don't, because it's not replicable. But Cristiano Ronaldo is so much more tangible, and I think for kids, you should look that way. You can't teach a child to do what Leo Messi does. But Cristiano Ronaldo is, and I think both of them are going to be like, I don't know, Paulo, maybe you were 16 because you eventually had this common sense to marry a great woman. But between 16 and 25, how guys are idiots then, is when a woman is a grown-up, because ladies just grow up quicker than us, is, when they leave a great girl because she says, I don't want you drinking on Sunday or whatever, and then you regret it like 6 months later when you're like, oh my goodness, now I'm getting fired because my girlfriend who used to actually keep me in check, I'm about to get fired. You only really respect that once they're gone. I think Messi and Ronaldo are very much the same. We're going to treat them the same. It's like right now is I got to choose Messi or Ronaldo and the other exterior. It's we'll never as strong is we may never ever, and our tennis is really lucky in this sense, is they had 3 of them, is we may never see this again, because what you need also, there's a really complicated thing you need both of them to be born at the same time. I think I read an interview with Cristiano Ronaldo with where he said, without Messi, I'm not at these levels, because naturally, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we are so lucky that we've got both of them, and they, for certainly for both of us, football is life, and what they give us. I mean, it's just it's too much. It's almost too much at the type of sacrifice. So shout out CR7, shout out Leo Messi, but last night belongs to Portugal, and I know within the identity, of course, of Portugal, the island of Madeira. Shout out to them. It's impossible. Surely it's impossible. But here it is, that tiny little island has produced in the greatest recreational activity mankind has ever come up with, arguably the greatest of all time. It's statistically impossible. So shout out to Madeira as well.
Exactly. And that's even before you start talking about Ronaldo and leave me aside. I mean,
yeah. The thing is once you put you next to Ronaldo, he sort of pales in comparison, and where that goes. So today's just about Ronaldo. But I mean, Paulo, for you, how many shows we got? I probably got about 3,000 shows left in my life. So no time for that.
Yeah, that's how many sit-ups I did this morning, just to match Ronaldo.
Paulo, your thoughts on Portugal so far in the tournament?
I know you don't like swears on the show. You know what? Like, there was an unease. There's an unease about Portugal coming to this tournament because we're caught between two spaces, right? We've got built on our recent success, which is defensive, yet we've got this generation of really great attackers, plus, this Ronaldo who's sort of been the constant the whole time. So you go, well, what brought us success was defensive solidity, but our best players are all attackers. And there is, as we've seen, they just don't fit in the team together. There's nothing wrong with saying that. And if, Euro 2004 was the same, because you had Ronaldo, Deco, Manish, Figo, Rui Costa, and Nuno Gomes, and they just didn't all work together. I mean, you looked at them, wow, and we have the same thing. And suddenly once you go, okay, listen, Joao Felix hasn't been a problem. Bruno Fernandes had to make way. Renato Sanchez is a little bit of a hybrid, sort of like perfect box-to-box midfielder. And it's sort of like we're solving our problems through the tournament. And I think that's what, having watched lots of tournaments over the years, that's where the successful teams come out of. And every game, it's been a different problem, and we've had to overcome it. And we, blew it up against Germany. But I think a lot of teams would have been spooked by what they tried. Yesterday, we made our own problems and resolved them time and time again. And I think that's a big positive, because the momentum's there. There's not one Portuguese player that has come out and gone, oh God, Belgium. It's like, it was probably the hardest draw to come out of it. It's like, whatever. There's the confidence and the arrogance now of going, okay, we messed up against Germany. We held France. We were better than France for a lot of the game. But what's Belgium? And now the momentum's just building. And I think I sort of said in the message yesterday, I'd rather be in the position of teams like Germany, France, Portugal, who've struggled, who've had to figure it out, than Italy, Holland, England. They've not been tested. They don't know what they're made of yet. And I think that's where the key comes from, is teams who do well do badly in the group phases go further because they know what they're about. And I think Portugal have discovered, and they've stumbled into what should be their best side and the best way of playing. And that's fine. Now it's just one-off games. The old cliche, anything can happen now,
I thought Renato Sanchez had such a great game. I thought he dominated the whole midfield, including Conte and Pogba. I thought he was magnificent last night. Not just the physicality. I mean, some of his play, the way he's protecting the ball, the way he's controlling that engine and keeping possession, retaining possession, not just, the physical side of things.
I love a player plays with his backside.
Yeah.
His backside is
the bunda.
such a tool. I love that. I love the way he just bounces people off his bum. I read in Football 365 this morning that said Renato Sanchez should just retire from football and only play Euros, because
I agree.
the years in between.
I agree.
But more than that, the mental fortitude of this kid. So he comes through, difficult upbringing, gets into Benfica, and they stick him out as a winger. That's where you sometimes see he gravitates towards there. He doesn't feel that's where he belongs, forces himself into the middle, has a really breakout tournament, and gets sold to Bayern Munich straight away because Benfica need the money. Bayern Munich don't really have a plan for him. He's not their sort of player. He ends up at Swansea, terrible time at Swansea. And it just looked like, and then I think there were stereotypical questions about his lifestyle, which I don't really think there was substance. I think it was just like lazy journalism. And the mental fortitude to have been a European golden boy, breakout star of a tournament, big move, blow it up, play Bundesliga, play Premier League, and you just think the guy's going to disappear, to at 23 build himself back up, French champion, don't underestimate what a big deal it is to be a French champion against PSG, and again standing up as a star of another Euro. There's something to that guy. There's a mental strength there that's probably as powerful as his bum, and I applaud that.
You have to applaud a man who has the mental fortitude of his own sort of glutes. You've got to admire that.
Yeah, there's no, that guy stood up on a field with, say what Pogba for France and Pogba for Manchester United is like holiday dad and normal dad. Holiday dad, and I'm a holiday dad. Holiday dad, super fun. Normal dad shouts at the swimming pool. And Pogba for United and Pogba for France is like that, right? So you got a guy who steps on a field with Pogba and Kante, and not intimidated, not overawed, do or die game. And he's the best midfielder overall. I think, all three had good games. And he just steps up. And at 23, hopefully, we don't have to wait for another Euro, and then he just grows. Lille are in huge problems, so they'll probably sell him off. But hopefully he makes a better move this time.
Hey, Jimbo. So one criticism I do have for Portugal is, are they ever going to have a kit that isn't the most boring kit in the world? It's been the same kit since 1837.
Dude.
Paulo, what's going on there?
Wait, can I just jump in real quick? There's something about this Portuguese kit that is so classy and so sexy. I like it. I like it a lot.
What's there like? Paulo, what are we doing? And it's such a cool color. They could go with the green, they could go with the white, kind of mix it up and have like a swag kit. And Portuguese people, listen, I've been to Portugal. They're all about food, culture, hugging each other, good-looking people. You know what I mean? What are we doing there, Paulo?
Listen, I'm just happy they were back to green shorts. So there was like a long time we had the all red. I wasn't into that.
Yeah, that was a disaster.
We got shorts back. I'm all for that template. I like this kit.
Yeah.
I'd prefer to play in the 1966 kit all the time. But we can't have it that way. I get what you're saying, but it's Nike template club, isn't it? I mean, it's like...
It is.
We got the same. I think the only Nike team that's got a different template is Croatia, because they got a round collar. Everyone's got a golf collar.
And all of the sort of Nike sponsored teams, the goalkeeper shirts all look the same also.
Who's deciding at Nike who what the kits should look like? Because I don't know if you've seen Chelsea and the USA men's kit. It's something that should be used to wipe a human being's bum.
It's like Liverpool's, was it our away kit from last season?
No, it's
the bluish one.
Nike's a disaster with football kits. And they have been for a while now. You got to be on the Adidas swag. I don't know. Listen, the Germans, bad PR from about 1945 onwards, but let's admit it, with Adidas, sensational. Absolutely sensational. So, Paolo, I just thought I had to get that off my chest because I don't want my sort of concerns in life turning into an ulcer. You know what I'm saying?
No, I know what you're saying. Listen, the home kit is nice. The away kit, I'm so undecided about it. That weird turquoise teal with the red, and I don't get it. I'm not into it. But it's massively, a massive seller. It's huge, hugely popular seller. So what do I know?
Yeah. Okay, let's wrap it up. How are you feeling for the rest of the tournament? Be honest. As honest as you can be.
It is... What I've always felt is that this sort of multi-nation thing is going to come into play. I'm not quite sure how it all lands, but England, by virtue of being at Wembley, listen, that could blow the whole tournament apart because there's not a forgiving crowd. I think it becomes very difficult to predict how this tournament goes because teams may just suddenly end up playing at home. And that can turn things so quickly. It is wide open. From a Portugal point of view, like I say, we know we've gone through the hard bits. We know our weaknesses. So either we overcome the weaknesses or we figure out how to hide them. I have, strangely enough, got no fear over Belgium. I don't get the Belgium thing. I don't understand it. And I've spoken to German supporters and Dutch supporters who go, how are they number one? What have they done? They have... Let's be honest, 2 world-class players. Let's be very honest. 3, Courtois, right?
Yeah.
In a squad that Nasser Chadli and Benteke still get regular games, I can't be taking that seriously. So I have no fear. Lukaku is outstanding striker, but Ronaldo is an outstanding forward. Kevin De Bruyne is probably one of the best midfielders in the world. Statistically, Bruno was up with him.
Sure.
I'm not... Jason Denayer... With Jason Derulo. Jason Denayer is in the back line with them.
He's terrible. He's all about swag with the dreads. He's dreadful, is what he is.
Alderweireld. Mounier. I saw the other day. I'm sorry, you can't. Listen, famous last words. I'm not afraid of them, but it's wide open. Anyone can just land at home at the right time, and this traveling around can upset somebody. I can't call it because even France have not impressed me. I don't see... Not at all. Just listen, it really is. It's such a lazy thing to say, but it's why Spain might sneak the whole thing.
That's my boys.
They suddenly turned it, Suddenly all those weird decisions they made.
Right.
Pedri comes yesterday. Morata realizes he can score. Every weird decision they made is working out. So it's just who ends up with a home game at a crucial point, I feel.
With that also being said, though, Spain only won last night 5-0 because 2 of the goals were own goals. So maybe Spain would have to rely on more own goals than anything else. But I get what you're saying. Literally, anyone can take this tournament.
Listen, Slovakia have more goals for Spain than Morata has goals for Spain.
Morata's agent is... The guy's played for Juventus, Real Madrid, Chelsea, and Atletico Madrid. I'm not saying he's a bad striker, but he's to play for those clubs. I don't know. I feel sometimes I just feel sorry for him, and to feel sorry for a Spanish player as a Portuguese fan.
Yeah,
this is weird. I just want to hug him.
just want to hug the hell out of the guy. Paulo, since you've left, and it's awesome to have you back on the show. By the way, can't wait. We'll have Paulo back in studio. Those joining on the podcast, we are joined by, of course, the third leg. James, people have called me the third leg,
Okay.
But Paulo, the third leg, of course, of the show. Awesome to have you with us, and looking forward to having you back in studio. But Paulo, since you've left, it's been so distressing for James that he's actually, not sure if you heard, but he quit smoking.
That's... they say quitting smoking is the gateway drug.
Oh, if I had a nickel. If I had a nickel for every time I heard that one. Paul, I'm quickly going to run through all the games, right? And I don't know how you're looking for time. You got five minutes for us to quickly run through all the games?
No problem. I got time.
All right. So I'm quickly going to run through my picks. I'll tell you why I think the teams will win. And then I'd love to hear what you've got to say as we run through the game. So give me, stay with us, Paulo. And then I will, I want to come back to you and get your take. So I'll quickly run through it, tell you why I think these teams will win. And then, I'd love to hear your take.
No problem.
All righty. All right. So I want to talk about this, of course, last 16. Let's go Wales, Denmark. Listen, the way I've always gone in international football when it gets tight is because chemistry is never really a thing unless you're like Germany or France, where you do have that 6-7 tournaments with the same coach. But chemistry is never a real thing for me in international football. I believe in X Factor, and X Factor, quite frankly, is players. So I'm going to run through this, and that's how I've made my picks. And I think I'm going to do pretty well here. We'll certainly put my picks up. All right, Wales, Denmark. I think Wales, they've got Gareth Bale. It's the only world-class player on the pitch. Right, I love Christensen. I mean, I love it. But there's no world-class player on the pitch. Gareth Bale is the decider. And ultimately, we've seen in big tournaments, big moments, your world-class guy pitches up. For me, Wales, Denmark, easy one, Wales. So all my picks are on X Factor. Do you have world-class and do they have world-class? Italy, Austria. I think Austria are going to win. Italy don't have a single world-class person. And don't tell me about Donnarumma. Listen, Twitter's all about potential. I've been told by somebody who I respect, potential gets you fired. Austria have Alaba and Sabitzer. That's all I know. That's all I know. I've seen enough of those two. I know that certainly as a whole team, are Italy better? You'd have to say yes. Maybe the coaching's a little bit better. But ultimately, these big games, as we saw yesterday, Hungary had their chance. They didn't have X Factor. So I think Austria are going to beat Italy. And I think, I said to people, I don't think Italy, the more and more I see of them, the less and less I like. No dynamism in the midfield. The defense is old. All that needs to happen is Alaba and Sabitzer need to have one great game. Arnautovic needs to have the best 20 minutes of his year. And who do Italy have to blow you out the water? I'm sorry, Insigne is not blowing anyone out the water. I like Locatelli, but is he better than Basuma? I don't know so much. And people tell me I'm Premier League biased, but I don't know what I see there besides a nice creative player. Jorginho, as a Chelsea fan, I don't love Jorginho. Is he technical? Yes. Maybe run a little bit. Without the ball, you're a handicap. And the defense is slow. No, thank you. I'm taking Austria, Sabitzer and Alaba all the way. Netherlands, Czech Republic. It's the Netherlands. They got Gini van Wijnaldum and they got the best young defender in the world. I think give it 2 or 3 years, he'll be the best in the world. In De Ligt, he's the second coming of De Keyser. Right? He is Der Keyser. I'm telling you, this guy is the next libero, and we haven't seen anything like him in modern day football. The Dutch combination of technique, size, power, and awareness. This guy's incredible. He's world-class. De Ligt is world-class Juventus. I don't know what happened this season. The injuries, yes, I get it, but it's been ugly. Gini and De Ligt, the Netherlands for me. Belgium, Portugal. I'm afraid it's Belgium, and that may hurt our good friend Paulo Diaz. But listen, I love Cristiano Ronaldo. But when Cristiano Ronaldo is the next level. He's the next echelon. There's world class, and then there's Messi and Ronaldo, whatever you want to call that, unicorn class, or whatever you want to call it. Okay. For the rest of Portugal, I like Bernardo Silva. In fact, I love Bernardo Silva. But has he ever really been the main guy at any club that matters? Monaco, yes. Anywhere else at the big time, even at Man City, he's struggling to squeeze people out. I think he's a better player than Riyad Mahrez. I do. But for whatever reason, Pep Guardiola is not making Bernardo Silva his guy. And if that level manager isn't making you his guy, we got problems. So I love Bernardo, but I'm not going to call him world-class until he's shown me that moment where he can carry like Ronaldo has for so long. I'm afraid I've seen Eden Hazard carry Chelsea to titles. I've seen Kevin De Bruyne do what he's done over the last 5 years. For me, it's just Belgium. Listen, I'm picking on X Factor. So forget about logic and coaching and the rest. I don't think big picture in this. X Factor, Eden Hazard looks like perhaps he's given birth and no longer has that child in his belly. So he looks like he might be back. So I don't know whether he's he's drinking those magical shakes that you see on adverts at the traffic light. But whatever he's doing, it seems he's lost that belly. And Kevin De Bruyne looks like that clothesline from Antonio Rudiger has recovered from that fractured eye. So Belgium, for me, I'm afraid. Portugal back to Madeira, and it's all over. Croatia, Spain. It's Croatia because I don't like anything about Spain. Forget the coaching side. I think that's malarkey. It's malarkey. But the one world-class player, and even at this age, is Luka Modric. Everybody else is good to very good. I don't like anything about Spain. I love Jordi Alba. He's 2-3 years past it. There's nobody else who's world class. Don't even get me started. I can't believe De Gea can't make the starting lineup. The goalkeeper could be honestly a computer programmer from down the road. Who is the keeper? Unbelievable. So for me, Luka Modric, the only world class guy. France, Switzerland. I think that's an easy one. Mbappe, Griezmann. Come on. All right, Paulo. Paulo and James, I'd love to hear what you guys have to say. Paulo, should we take it from the top? And I'd love to hear what you got to say.
Yeah, so I think somebody needs to tell Arnautovic that there are Montenegrin defenders in the Italian team. Then that's a banker.
Good Lord. That's where we are.
Gracious. Not a single Montenegrin mother wants to hear from Arnautovic, huh?
That is where we are.
Just, why is he so angry? What's wrong with that guy?
I don't know.
What's wrong with him?
That's such a good question. Why is he so angry?
I've become convinced that he had something horrendous happen in his childhood because he's always been like that.
He's good-looking, strapping, talented, rich.
I think he's a war refugee, so that could be what happened to him.
That is.
I think he had to escape his country. I think there's some of that in there. I mean, I stand corrected.
I think he is.
But he's angry.
Yeah, that'll damage you for your life, though. Being a war refugee.
Angry.
Yeah, he is. He's too angry. But Wales, Denmark. Let's start at the top. Wales, Denmark. Your thoughts?
Yeah. So listen, I like Wales. Like for you, I mean, you just got to go on a world class player. I think the Denmark. Oh, listen, I don't want to be the guy that says it, but like the whole like wave of sentimentality. What happened to Eriksson was terrible, but the guy's fine. I don't know. I don't get it. But I just think that emotion can take you so far. They may be emotionally exhausted. They had like all home games, so that helped them. There are a lot of home games. So I want to see Wales through there. Netherlands, I just think Netherlands just have a little bit too much to do there. I mean, damn you, Memphis Depay. You weren't showing up at United reserve games in cowboy hats. You could have been doing this for us. But no, you want to be iron rapper. Good for you, okay?
He had a boxing ring in his house. Did you remember when he had the boxing ring in his house? He had a full-scale boxing ring in his home.
What a moron. You know the story about the cowboy hat?
I do. But tell it for those who don't. Paulo, please.
He gets put into the United reserves, right? Being too flashy, not really whatever. He gets dropped to reserves. Wayne Rooney, captain of the club, goes to him and says, listen here, if you're playing a reserve game, just tone it down, arrive in a club tracksuit, don't draw attention to yourself. The guy arrives in a Rolls Royce with a cowboy hat and cowboy boots at a rinky-dink reserve game. And then, of course, he gets canned. And then you see this, free transfer to Barcelona. I don't know what that means. Well, it's like, come on, guy. Like, really? Listen,
you can tell this has been affecting Paulo for a good while. This whole Memphis thing.
I just watch it. The glamour time. I get so angry. I got to tell you, right? When you see Portugal, Belgium, and England, Germany, and you go, oh, like big guns, and you have to look at Sweden and Ukraine. I'm sorry if you're Swedish or you're from the Ukraine. Really, guys? Like, what a boring. Whoever wins there, we all lose. That's just what I want to say. Sweden are the Middlesbrough of international football. They're always just there.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, sometimes they're in the Premier League, sometimes Sweden are always there. They never do anything. At least Zlatan does something. It's so boring.
Wow.
Yeah, they are like Volvo. They're like Volvo, It's like it's going to work. It's functional. It's, but it's no swag.
There's nothing.
Yeah.
They didn't even go out gloriously. And even if they did, who would notice? Whatever. Anyway, so I will not be watching that game next Tuesday at 9:00. Certainly not. I also think Spain are going to have too much for Croatia. Spain just seems to be like clicking into gears. I mean, they won't. I don't think they'll win it, but I think they're going to cause trouble. Italy, Austria, we said is easy. France, Switzerland is easy. Of course, I'm going to go Portugal, and Portugal, Belgium can go like really. It's whatever. Who can actually read that game? It's so evenly matched. And England, Germany. You know, there were times when Portugal looked like we'd be playing England again, and I just wanted that so bad. You know, Germany going to win. You just know they're going to beat England.
And quite convincingly.
It'd be even better if they don't. Even better if they don't beat them convincingly.
You mean like it's just it's a 1-0 and the one goal was a penalty or whatever?
Like a last minute. Who's somebody who they all love? Like a last minute Declan, or like Henderson comes on and he scores a last minute own goal.
Even Jack Grealish, even better, because the whole momentum's swinging against Jack Grealish because he's not Paul Gascoigne.
I think what happens there is that's also a little bit of a bias call. He does that, it shaves about 15 million off his price. Maybe United have a go.
No, that's what's happening with Jadon Sancho. I will not be paying that amount.
Paulo, explain that to all of us, please. I'm sitting here going, what the hell with Jadon Sancho?
Why Sancho's not playing?
Yeah.
Yeah, listen, Gareth Southgate has become like a parody of Gareth Southgate. He's overthinking everything. He's now talking these words, managing the tournament. I was like, oh my God, you've actually bought into yourself.
Yeah.
You've actually bought into this. It's nonsense what you're talking about. You put your best players on the field all the time. Jadon Sancho listen, I think he's over-egged because he's out of mind. And you probably only see highlights of him when he comes through. I don't know if he's this thing that he is, but he is a great player. Why is he not playing? Makes no sense. Southgate is overthinking everything. He's absolutely he's in his own head now, and it's going to be glorious. It's going to be glorious.
You liking that one?
I love it.
All right, so the Germans there, huh?
And listen, I'm not a fan of the Germans, but I just like the English being upset. It just fuels me.
Yeah, it is nice. It's good content.
It's glorious.
Yeah. Paulo, and was there anything else? I think that was all of the games.
That was all of the games.
Even Sweden, Ukraine. That's how thorough I am.
No, you're a pro. You're what we call in the biz a pro's pro, Paulo. You've really big time journalism. Hey, Paulo, great to have you, pal. Thanks for giving us half an hour, and we'll continue to chat. Jimbo, what you got for Paulo before you run?
Paulo, before you dip out, there is one question for you in the comments. Kutle wants to know, how do you feel about Portugal going 4-1 and dropping Bruno?
I knew Bruno was going to go because he hasn't contributed anything this tournament, and he's been blowing out his backside for about 2 months for United. And he just doesn't show up in the big games. He plays the occasion. He gets too caught up in what's going on. He's chasing referees around the field. Yesterday was probably good because he got knocked down a few pegs, and he came on. And when he came on, he showed a few things. I don't think he should play. You are always going to have that. Fernando Sanchez was so happy yesterday because he got to play, I think, 5 of his 6 central midfielders. With Ruben Neves up front.
Yeah, I saw that.
You know, I just think that Bruno gives you a lot, but he gives you a lot, but he doesn't give you enough of one thing, if that makes sense. Where if you got João Moutinho, you know you've got someone. All João Moutinho does is what he does. Neat, tidy, doesn't lose the ball. Shouldn't shoot, shouldn't cross. But that man's going to get the ball at his feet. He's not going to lose it. Renato Sanchez is going to be the guy who's going to pick up the ball and he's going to run with it. Okay? Bruno can do little bits of all that, but these guys are specialists in doing those. And Danilo Pereira is just, that knock that he took yesterday that's why he's there. The guy's a warrior. He's not the best player in the world, but he's an absolute brute. Good in the air, covers defensively, very clever tactically to close down passing lines. So I'm not surprised Bruno's dropped. What I would like to see is Andre Silva up front and Ronaldo playing off him. That's not going to happen, but I really think you've got the second top scorer in the Bundesliga and you don't find space for him. But I suppose that's why people fancy Portugal so much. But that fancy footwork, we tried it. He tried it. He tried to fit all the good players in and didn't work. So he's reverting to type. keep it tight, keep it solid. The Germany game was an anomaly. I think a lot of teams would have been caught out by what they did. It was an absolute madman move that worked by Jogi Löw. So the 4-1-4-1, it works for us. It's what we're about. I really wish Joao Cancelo was there, though. I mean, Nelson Semedo, God bless, but
what happened at Barcelona? Paulo, I've asked you this in person. What happened to that guy at Barcelona? What, like, it's almost like somebody, I don't know, did he have a bad divorce? Like, what happened?
I don't think he was ever that good to begin with.
I see what you're saying.
Wow.
I don't think it, again, George Mendes client got a great move. And it's, I really don't think he was that good. I'll say it. Ricardo Pereira at Leicester is way better defender, but he hardly played. And Joao Cancelo also, by virtue of, he just couldn't find his feet. He moved around a lot until, it's settling at City. I just don't think Semedo is that good. I just don't believe it.
And hey, I've spoken to you about Cancelo before in person. I love that guy. And I mean, you seem to be like, or you were on the fence about him, if I remember correctly. And I think you said Pereira was even your favorite over Cancelo.
You know what? And as the season progressed, I think it's the difference between who's a better right back and who's a better footballer.
Gotcha.
And Joao Cancelo is a better footballer. And he does a lot of clever things. Obviously, all Pep inspired. But he's able to do a lot of clever things as a footballer, where as a right back, Ricardo Pereira is a much better right back. But, well done to Dalot. The guy was sort of like floating around at United. And, I mean, what's his story? On loan at AC Milan, played for Portugal in the under-21s, played all the games in that tournament, goes on holiday, and then gets called, hey, by the way, yesterday was his debut.
That's insane.
Damn.
In that game. So,
yeah. No, phenomenal. Hey, Paulo, good luck. Sort of keep your, everybody keep your sort of, what do you call it? Like a watch line, where if somebody, if you get a suicide watch. So we'll keep Paulo on suicide watch, of course, when Portugal play.
I'm good. You know what? We've got the one, and we've got the inaugural Nations League. We're the first Nations League winners.
Because that's important. That's super important.
It's unbelievable stuff.
We've got the one.
League.
Yeah. I'd like more, but end of the day, we've got the one, and that's fine.
Incredible.
I wish we'd won the Nations League. Oh no, we did.
You do. You do.
Oh no! Please give us a nation.
Incredible. All right, Paulo.
Put it next to your Toulon tournament trophy.
All right, Paulo. Listen, it's been great having you on, Paulo. Looking forward to having you back. Have a great afternoon.
Cheers, gents.
Cheers.
You knew it was going to go there somehow.
I did.
You knew that, we've got this. It's unbelievable. Good to have Paulo back.
I miss Paulo.
Good to have Paulo back. He'll be back soon. If you do, thoughts and prayers for Paulo. If you do have him as a friend, as a loved one, please suicide watch. I know he's saying it now to put on a brave face, but on Champions League night, I would have needed suicide watch if Chelsea lost.
Well, look,
but they didn't, so no need to. I'm fine.
Yeah, I've got nothing to add about Chelsea winning the Champions League.
Oh yes, they did. How chivalrous of you to mention it, James, that Chelsea are now champions of Europe. It didn't really come up.
I'm a chivalrous guy, It didn't come up. But again, I'm a chivalrous guy. I know you had COVID. I don't bring that up a lot.
Yeah.
Just kind of keep stuff to us sometimes.
Do you know what my biggest weakness is?
Wait, don't tell me. It is an overriding desire to eat a sirloin, which is more fatty than a rump.
I don't know how that would be a weakness, but no, my biggest weakness is I'm too kind.
Yes, you are correct.
Yeah, I'm too kind and too forgiving and too passionate.
Look,
and too patient.
If
you know what I mean,
I'm quite certain if you were to look up kind, your name would come up.
Yeah.
I actually just want to.
I'm too humble. A lot of people are saying I'm too humble.
Yes. Actually, I wanted to actually check something.
Guys are saying #humility.
Oh, you see, if you type in humble, it auto-fills for you and it says MKT.
Yeah. So I just want to share a piece of my heart with you, James. Is my biggest weakness. I'm happy to be vulnerable. Oprah said this.
Are
is,
you?
Yeah, Oprah said July is it's vulnerability July. You know. Vulnerability July.
Oh, that made my whole week.
All right,
that was
I'm glad.
incredible.
All right, should we take a little break, ladies and gentlemen? Paulo Diaz, he was fantastic as always. His heart is in his mouth. Portugal, real thing. That they are doing it right now. All right, we're going to take a little break. We'll be back in a little bit. And after the break, we'll head straight into social media with James. And we'll wrap up maybe with a little bit of cricket talk. All right, the MKT Show. See you in a bit. The MKT Show. Welcome back to it, sports fans. The 24th of this month. I mean, who cares really? Because
Who cares?
not me. Because my spiritual advisor said time is an illusion.
Time is an illusion.
You know, and I'm a Taurus.
You are a Taurus.
It's true.
I'm being a hype man.
You're being my spiritual hype man.
Yeah.
Okay, I never thought I'd live to have a spiritual hype man.
You didn't.
Is this part of the hyping?
Yes.
That was more negative.
Sorry. But you gotta speak so I can hype.
Hurt my chakras. Well, I was overwhelmed. I'm having a spiritual moment here.
So I have another one, and then I'll hype that up, and then
You can't fake it. You can't fake it. Plus,
Well,
I can only have an enlightenment once I've paid somebody $300 to be my spiritual and psychic. Do you know people who see psychics? Like,
no,
have you ever met these people though?
no.
No, I got a friend who's like, oh my gosh, I've had such a good week. Why? I found a new psychic.
No.
I'm like, oh, so you don't know any people that are into like psychics? Yeah. No.
I know people that are into like tarot readings and stuff.
Yeah, it's all the
But,
okay. Again, I need to take a tarot readings, huh? That's awesome.
like tarot cards.
No, I'm
Which I know is similar to like psychics.
it's all the same
Yeah.
sort of heebie-jeebie
Realm, yeah.
Let's burn incense
Yeah.
and hey, maybe take a bath. I've never
Me
understood.
in particular, or what do you mean here?
Yeah, well, hippies in general.
Oh, right.
That
okay.
hippie whole movement. Why is it always associated to being like not showering? To keep it simple.
Because
Because what? Mother Nature doesn't shower.
one with nature.
But what does that mean? Like rivers are nature.
You only shower when it rains because that's
Actually, the song goes, I'm only happy when it rains.
yeah.
So there's that. Have they thought about that? Maybe their chakras aren't aligned, and that's why they're never happy. That's why it never rains.
And then they sing the Phil Collins song throughout the forest.
Great song. Great art. Phil Collins.
I wish it would rain down.
Yeah.
And they're all like rain army, and then it just all kind of.
Phil Collins, all-timer.
It's the boy, huh?
Yeah, all-timer. The Temptations, Phil Collins. There's very few all-timers.
Yes.
Okay.
Bryan Adams is an old timer. Don't you dare.
You gotta be a little bit of a white guy for Bryan
You do have
Adams.
to be white
Like-
for
like-
Bryan Adams.
Phil Collins is everyone. Like, no. Phil Collins is. He's the guy. You know. You got to ask yourself at some stage. There's not a single race on this planet. When you drop the banger of One More Night, that isn't losing it. One more night.
No, I'm pretty sure there's bigger bangers from Phil Collins where people lose their minds.
Well, I just mean, but he's all-timer to all of us. Bryan Adams, you got to be like, I don't know, like a 25-year-old white guy with a girlfriend, and you wear those checkered shirts, and you work at an investment bank, like very white, very Canadian, by the way. He's so white, Bryan Adams, so white. Like there's some stuff where you have to call it out. It's like some rap is just like, okay, that's too black, bro.
I do own a checkered shirt.
No, cool, you're a white guy and you like Bryan Adams. But it's like there's some hip hop as well. It's like, okay, you don't need to be that black. With Bryan Adams, that's too white. But Canadians actually are the whitest white you can get.
Yes.
Oh, and I lived in Canada. I'm not just saying. I spent 6 months there.
Sorry to hear about that.
Hey.
Sorry to hear about your Zamboni.
And listen, you think you're being ridiculous with your accent right now? It's a whole lot of that.
No, but mine was kind of
and you're
British.
underdoing it. No, even that sorry.
Yeah, they go sorry to hear about.
Sorry, eh?
Sorry to hear about it.
But they are. Oh, man.
The
Canadians.
Zamboni.
Not everybody has a Zamboni, but they
Super Canadian.
they are about as
Zamboni.
they are Canadian. The one thing, if I could just add something to Canadians, personality. Lovely people, very nice, but my God, are they white?
Apparently, they have very nice coffee. What's it called? Tim Hortons or whatever it is.
Oh, I don't know. No.
It's Canadian.
Oh, all right. No,
Apparently,
good.
it's very good. I wouldn't know.
They also have. This is how boring Canada is. They literally have mafias within the maple leaf industry.
And they're
No, I'm not kidding. The maples. Do you know of this? This is a real thing. Maple syrup, that whole industry is run by like, there's mafia wars. That's how boring they are.
And Canadians' versions of Mafia Wars is not, I'll break your kneecaps if you don't back off. It's like, I won't shake your hand at the next family event.
Yeah. While you'll only get to have the coleslaw last.
Yeah. Because they're just nice people.
They are so vanilla.
Shawn Mendes was on that show Hot Ones.
Oh, yeah? Is he Canadian?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think it was on Hot Ones where he was speaking about being a Canadian, and like someone will cut him off on in traffic and he'll apologize to them.
Oh my gosh. but do you know what I mean? Like, there is a level of like, okay, that's too Spanish, dude. Like, relax. Like, bring it back. There's the rest of the world. Like, you in the rest of the world. It's like, okay, that's too black with that stuff. Bring it back.
Yeah.
Like, you in mainstream media now. Like, Bryan Adams, too white. Too white, bro. I can't go there. Maybe one or two songs, but
Did you ever watch Spirit?
The movie
With the horse? Yes.
I think I caught clips of it when you said the horse. Bryan Adams. So white, bro. So like, hey, Brian, awesome. Canadians, Canada, one of the most beautiful countries in the world. By the way, Whistler, Canada, if you can afford it. I only could afford it because I was working there.
Isn't Bryan Adams Canadian?
That's what I just said. Yeah, that's why I'm mentioning Canada.
Right.
That's why
That's why this whole thing makes sense now.
Oh, so the whole time you weren't sure why I was talking about Canadians?
No, I just thought you were giving more of an example of that's too Spanish or that's too.
Yeah.
I thought
Canada
was another example.
No, it's because Bryan Adams is very Canadian. Yeah.
Right.
What? Ever really love a woman?
Vibes.
So
Vibes.
white, dude.
Hashtag.
Even his love songs are mayonnaise. Just like, get some taste. It's like low-fat mayonnaise, you know?
You gotta sit in sunset traffic listening to Bryan Adams.
Like, I'm trying to think. I can't really think of anyone that's too black in the hip-hop world, but there is some hip-hop which goes their way. And then there's, like, Jennifer Lopez, that's too Latino. Like, pull it back. Pull it back. Pull it back to the middle. You're a pop artist.
No, Shakira.
She's gone too far.
Yeah.
She's gone too far.
Yeah.
Although she did say waka waka so that brought her closer.
She did say come here. Yeah, why did you come here?
No, but Shakira is too, like, okay, slow down on that Latino thing. Just bring it back. You're in pop culture now.
Yeah. You made it big. Slow it down.
I'm trying to think who else. Do you know what I mean, though?
I do.
Like, there are people, especially when you get into the pop culture world, just bring it to the middle a little bit. Like, you can still, like, you know who does it perfectly? Pitbull. He's got Latina mix, makes it English, it'll pop. He's on Oprah, he's on Ellen, he's funny. He's like he gets it. Like, he doesn't lose the Latina element, but he's not always pushing it in my face.
Do you know why?
I don't.
Because
he's got a good PR agent.
Because he's Mr. Worldwide.
Damn right. Bryan Adams, forget it. Phil Collins, one more night though. Drop that thing anywhere. Black, white, Jewish. Phil Collins, get out of here. All timer. Phil Collins. Huh? Who would have thought Phil Collins would start that convo?
Whoever thought Phil Collins would come up on our show?
Although, why wouldn't he? All timer. He's the Cristiano Ronaldo of music.
Whoa.
No, tell me one person who doesn't like Phil Collins, and I'll show you a liar. Or at least one person who doesn't like one song from Phil Collins. You're a liar, or you're a Gen Z and no one cares. Quite frankly, I don't. They're a liar. James, one song. If you don't like one song of Phil Collins, honestly, if you have any friends who can't say to you, I like one Phil Collins song, they just need to like one song. Honestly, they are a serial killer. They are going to murder you and put your organs in, or they're going to put you, if not murder you, they certainly will put you in a bath of ice and remove your organs and sell it to someone in a dark area somewhere. Somewhere in the oil belt.
You're right, dude. He does. You'll be in my heart from Tarzan. That's a vibe.
Phil Collins, James, I'm sorry. I don't care who you are. Phil Collins is all time. There's not anyone in this world. Just one song. You don't have to like Phil Collins across the board. But there's one song that bangs, bro. To you, and sometimes you don't even, like James didn't realize that he's been on basically everything Disney's done.
I Can't Stop Loving You.
Oh, get out of here.
Damn. Song of Man is also from Tarzan.
Bro, stop. Phil Collins is an all-time banger. If you have a friend who there's one song of Phil Collins he doesn't like or she doesn't like, that person's a murderer and they are going to steal your organs. It's going to happen. They're going to fill the bath with ice, and they're going to put you in there, and they're going to slice your kidneys out, and you're going to bleed to death in a bath.
Did he sing the original True Colors, or was that what was her name? Not Cyndi Lauper. It's I can't remember her name now. Because it says here True Colors is part of his hits album.
Well, I think True Colors had a few versions. I think not Cyndi Lauper. The lady's been in the studio, actually. She was very cool.
What's her damn name, dude?
I forget, but she's awesome. She's electrifying. I know who you're talking about. See, this is why we need Paolo. I know exactly who you're talking about. Cyndi Alta.
There you go.
Cyndi Alta. So True Colors, there's actually a few versions of that. I think ABBA did one as well.
Oh my God.
I stand to be corrected. But of course, Cyndi Alta, that song went to number 1 on the world charts, by the way, with Cyndi Alta. I'm not sure if you're aware of that.
You want to know what was number 1 on the world? No, it was Cyndi Lauper.
Oh, we were right.
Was.
Okay, no, she's very.
Look at that.
That's very American, though. That's not. I thought. What's Cyndi Alta's one that went to number 1? I'll be your whatever. I'll be your. See, this is where we need Paolo again. Anyway, that went to number 1 as well. But True Colors, banger, all timer.
You want to know what was number 1 in the world? On the month I was born.
That doesn't make sense. This year? I mean, what year?
Sorry, the year and month I was born.
Okay.
Number 1 on the charts.
Well, what year were you born?
97, February.
97. Around then, that was probably like it's got to be the Backstreet Boys. It's got to be me.
It's a individual lady.
Mariah Carey.
No, it's a black lady.
Beyonce.
No,
she wasn't.
Beyonce.
She wasn't doing solo back then. I don't know. Back then, black lady winning. No, I don't know.
Toni Braxton.
Oh, she wasn't man enough for me. Yeah.
And break my heart.
Say you love me again. Yeah.
February 97, dude.
Banger. She's a banger. Her music, all timer.
Yeah.
All timer.
Anyway, we are a sports show.
Whitney Houston.
Whitney Houston.
Oh, Whitney. You know, Bobby's the problem there. He gave her the crack. That's Bobby's fault. He's the douchebag.
Damn it, Bobby.
He stole, and also, Toni Braxton, all-timer. I'm not even into R&B, by the way. But that voice, an angel, a human angel. I'm not even religious, but she was an angel. But he took her from us. Kind of like that other lady who took Kurt Cobain from us. But anyway, this is not the show.
Who, Whitney Houston?
Well, I mean, same story, right? Bobby fed drugs to Whitney, which obviously she smoked herself to death, which is tragic. Bobby Brown, what a douchebag. But also, is it Courtney Love? Oh, no. Courtney.
You're thinking of what? Amy Winehouse.
No. Yeah. No, I know. Amy Winehouse is a different person. Knew her personally. No. A completely different person. Who's the person who killed Kurt Cobain? What's her name? Not Courtney Love. What was her name? Oh, James, you're so young. And I'm look how old I'm getting.
Who killed Kurt Cobain?
I mean, she didn't kill him directly.
Why did you say who killed Kurt Cobain?
No, because she gave him drugs.
Is it Rosemary Carroll?
No, man.
Well, that came up. It said who is Rosemary Carroll? And she's got a PhD. She definitely didn't kill Kurt Cobain.
No, just a Kurt Cobain girlfriend. It's important. This is important. I'm sorry. We cannot move on.
And I had such a fun segment for social
Courtney
media,
Love.
James.
Courtney Love.
It was Courtney Love.
Oh, okay. Courtney Love. Yeah, she's the monster who fed Cobain all the cocaine and took him from us.
Hashtag.
She's going to have to wear that, bro. She's going to have to wear that. You stole. I mean, I'm not into grunge, but I know every single white guy in the world keeps blaming her. There's another thing too, white. Grunge music. Dave Grohl, no thank you. Get out of here. Get out of here.
Dave Grohl.
Yeah. Good. All-timer, though. All-timer musician. Wow. Hey, he was part of that whole movement, right? And he started, what's his band?
Is it,
I don't know what's happened to my music knowledge today.
It's not Seether.
No. South African guys, by the way, Seether.
They are.
Yeah, so, no. Very much.
How
do we not know this?
No, man, stop. Dave. This is the last Google search I'm doing.
Foo Fighters, that's what it is. Foo Fighters.
No, it's not. He was the drummer for Nirvana.
Yes, that's
Kurt
and
then
Cobain.
He founded the Foo Fighters.
Yes. That's what I'm saying. He's been part of 2 bands that changed music genres.
Music genres.
No, he's done well. Dave Grohl.
Well, Dave Grohl. Anyway, we're a sports show.
Yeah, we are a sports show, and grunge, a little too white. Brian Adams, a little too white, but there's white people on this planet, so you know,
It's true.
a little something for everyone.
It's true. It's true.
A little something. Not everything has to be street bangers. You know what I'm saying, Jimbo?
For sure. For sure.
All right, talking about something that bangs, ladies and gentlemen, it's now time for a segment that people are saying is the greatest segment in the history of segments.
It's true.
In any form of segmentation, it is social media with James. What we got, Jimbo?
So I found a list on a website.
Shopping list?
Yeah. Just thought I'd read my shopping list for social media with James, and that's about it.
Sure.
1 carton of eggs.
Carton. I mean, jeepers. No wonder your girlfriend's telling you you're overweight.
Chicken breasts.
You need a carton of eggs. Where are you going to keep them? They're gonna go off.
Okay, no, we're getting sidetracked.
Oh.
Okay, so found a list on a website called Top 10s. I'm not going to explain what the website does. It's in the name.
Okay.
But this website has done a list called Top 10 Weird and Bizarre Moments from the UEFA Euro Championships.
In history.
Yes.
Okay.
How exciting is this?
Very.
Talk about... nope. Forgot the word. Never mind. So, start with number 10. And we'll go back to Scotland, who sadly have been removed from the group.
Don't know how
From
sad
the-
that is,
from
but
the
they are gone,
tournament.
yes.
You know? Excuse me. So, it says the Scottish national football team was probably the best in the world in the 19th century. But in the last 100 years, they aren't exactly successful. So they have obviously played at multiple World Cups and European Championships. Obviously, most recently, the Euros for this year, which was their first appearance at the Euros in a long time. But the Scottish national team is very unlucky, and I'll tell you why. Because they don't have the luck of the Irish. See what I did there?
I do. I do see what you did there.
In the 1974 FIFA World Cup, they were eliminated while not losing a single game. They were still eliminated. They had 2 draws and 1 win. At Euro 1996, they went home because of a single goal. Yeah, because of a single goal. But by scoring only once in 3 games, they probably didn't deserve any better.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just incredibly unlucky. This Euro also just nowhere. So they left the 1974 World Cup after not losing a game.
In this Euro, they had a guy get COVID, and apparently only Mason Mount and Ben Chilwell were the only people who could get it.
Yeah.
So they had to. I mean, his coach was French kissing him, right? Billy Gilmore.
I did see that.
Steve Clark was basically, you know, honestly, they were just swapping saliva via the tongue, and Steve Clark didn't have to isolate, but Mason Mount and Chilwell, because they hung out for 20 minutes, did. Very weird.
Very strange.
Very weird.
You want to hear about the most stupid riot?
Is that at number 9?
Yes, this is at number 9. The most stupid riot in UEFA Euro history.
I do. Hit me with it.
We're going to take a trip to the Oranje, right? So, have you ever heard about a story of home fans becoming violent after their team wins a game?
No, I've not.
So, you would assume that most violent riots happen because of what emotions would you sort of pair it with?
Anger.
Sure.
Resentment.
Sure.
You know, I don't know, just general sort of hurtfulness.
Sure.
Yeah.
So you wouldn't expect your own fans to riot after you've won a game 8-0, would you?
No.
Okay, well, that's what happened.
Why did they riot?
In 1987, the Oranje hosted Cyprus. And even before the game, Oranje had already qualified for the Euro 1988. And yeah, at that game, that's where things got violent because they won 8-0.
Although when you win 8-0, how many beers is that, you know? Oaks are cracking beers back then, 1988, not like now. Oaks are cracking beers before the game, maybe a couple of vodkas, snuck that in. Maybe 15,000 too many people in the stadium. I can understand how pandemonium could ensue there.
But why are you angry?
Maybe, like, sometimes, you know, Oaks are jawling, having a good one. When you have 10 too many beers, you know.
10 too many.
You can have too much of a good thing.
You can.
Like 8's a lot. Jeepers.
It is. And
Yeah,
that
but
brings
that
us
is
to
crazy.
number 8.
Oh, very good.
That's segue, huh?
Very good.
So this is a more sort of modern day football. The curious case of Portugal and Greece, right? So you probably know where I'm going with this. The 2004 Euros, Greece won it. Their odds were 150 to 1.
It's not as long as Leicester, but yeah.
Still pretty long odds. And they ended up walking away with the trophy.
Angelos Karisteas.
So what initially started the shock win for Greece was when they beat Portugal in the tournament's opening game 2-1. Right. Everyone was like, oh my goodness, Greece beat Portugal. Can you name a couple of the Portuguese players that played in that? I can't. I just want to know who played in that Portuguese side.
Luis Figo, Ricardo Quaresma. I mean, that was a great side. George Costa. I forget the goalkeeper was Mourinho's Porto guy. I mean, 2004. So yes, that might be Bosingwa is in that. Might be in that team. Manish is in that team. Costinha is in that team. Quaresma I've already said. Helder Postiga I've already said. The great Luis Figo's in that team. I mean, that team. Rui Costa, of course, the great Manuel Rui Costa is in that team. So we're not mucking about here. This is not. We're not. Just having a hobbler-dobbler with the lad down the park.
Exactly. So a very, very, very strong Portuguese side, right? That Greece had beaten in their first game 2-1. What makes it more weird is that this was the same fixture of the Euro 2004 final. Greece versus Portugal. And Greece walked away with it again. This hasn't occurred in Euro tournament history, ever. But yeah, the Greeks won by a single goal, a header.
The image I remember, was at Karisteas,
Yeah.
The image I remember was Luis Figo being taken off, and you know how nowadays you got to walk off at the closest,
Yes.
Yeah, and he just walked off around the goal, and he just took forever to get back. He was just like revolted by the manager, just like unbelievable. How dare you?
How dare you?
Yeah, great player, Luis
Damn
Figo.
it.
Wow.
Alrighty, number 7. Bad guy serves his revenge. It's this title. So this dates back to a time in the world where people were angry with each other and countries were at war.
Sure.
A war that wasn't very warm.
Sure.
Because the Cold War. Anyway.
Yeah. All of the what a
Spain
sense of humor.
and the Soviet Union. So before Russia was Russia.
Some might say when Russia was Russia. The Russians might tell you. Yeah.
When Russia was real
When
Russia.
Russia was Russia. Yeah. When Russia was Mother Russia.
So during the qualifiers for the 1960 European Championships, the Soviet Union and Spain were drawn to play against each other, with the winner progressing to the finals. However, Spanish dictator Francisco Franco pressured his team to withdraw.
James, because you went to AFTA and have no general knowledge, that's General Franco to you.
Sure. It says Spanish dictator.
No, he was a terrible man.
Exactly. I'm just reading.
No, literally. He demanded you call him General Franco. I'm not kidding there, by the way.
Okay, so Spanish dictator General Francisco Franco.
Yeah, there we go.
Is that good?
I mean, have some respect. The guy was a dictator.
Apologies, buddy. Buddy.
Yeah. Your old mate. General Franco, your old mucker.
Sorry, buddy.
Your old mucker.
I got it wrong this time again.
Cheers, old boy. Sorry about that, eh?
So Francisco Franco pressured his team to withdraw. So they were eliminated after refusing to travel to the Soviet Union. One of the stories says that Franco was afraid that Spanish supporters would even cheer for the Soviet Union to protest against his repression and hatred towards socialism. However, the Soviets progressed and won the title, even mocking Franco and his stupid decision.
Wow.
However, good old friend of mine, Franco, got his revenge, as Franco always does.
As dictators will do.
At the Euro 1964. So this whole event happened in 1960. So the following Euros 1964, Spain hosted the event and faced the Soviet Union in the final. This time, good old Franco did the right thing and let his team play conveniently. And Spain won. And good old Franco got the last laugh.
Dictators will get you in the end. They will get you in the
Wild.
end. Yeah, that's... Have you seen the Pelé documentary?
Pelé?
Yeah,
The movie or the
the
documentary?
docu on Netflix.
I didn't know there was one.
Watch it.
Is
Then
it good?
we'll talk about it.
Okay, let's do it.
Yeah, dictators are involved.
I like...
No, it's all-timer. Netflix, Pelé documentary, watch it.
Okay. Pelé documentary on Netflix.
Phenomenal.
I'm skipping one because it's boring.
Let's hear it.
No, actually, I'm not.
Okay, well, you're so brave. Just changing your mind like that.
You
What,
know, look.
what we got going there?
When the same final happened twice in a row.
Oh,
Sounds less boring, right?
yeah.
Not boring. It's not. Trust me. Okay. So, after good old Franco, life moved on. Countries were still kind of dictatorships, and you know the world was still a weird place.
Yeah.
Uh,
His name was James. I mean, he was destined to be a horrible person.
Exactly. At the Euro 1996. Oh, I thought that said. Never mind. It's a long time afterwards, after Franco and the boys.
It's okay.
Euro 96 in England was a brilliant event which featured a dramatic final match. So this was Czech Republic versus Germany, by the way.
And by the way, go and Google the second greatest goal in Euros that you'll ever see. Karel Poborski scores a goal in that tournament. My God.
It was wild. It was wild. So the Czechs took the lead after being gifted a penalty. However, the Germans, being German, fought back. That wasn't a reference to
1944.
no,
We
not
get
at
it.
all. I'm
Yeah.
talking about their football nature is
Sure. You're not
Exactly.
saying this was the second coming of Stalingrad.
exactly.
That's not what you're saying.
Exactly.
Okay. Yeah.
It says here the Germans served poetic justice by scoring an equalizer. Then the game went into extra time. Substitute Oliver Bierhoff.
Bierhoff, yeah. He's now the head of the DFB, of course. Superb player in his time, absolutely brilliant player. That Euros the launching of one blonde, famous man who would slide and take Tottenham as well to another level in that era. The great Jurgen Klinsmann, captain in that, of course. And then Lothar Matthäus, of course, a part of that as well. Great German team, my God. Effenberg.
Good old Germans.
Just an unstoppable machine, that one.
Vorsprung, Dirk Technique.
Deutsche Technik.
There you go. So Oliver Bierhoff scored when golden goal was still a thing. He scored in extra time. The Germans won. Yay. What a great time to be alive. 4 years later, at Euro 2000, the same thing happened. So the Czechs were involved. No, they weren't, sorry. Italy was involved. Took the lead after an hour of play. But at the same time, the Germans... No, wait, hang on. Sorry, I'm reading this way too fast. Italy was in this final against the French.
Okay.
Okay. Italy took the lead after an hour. The French decided, that's not how we play this game. We want to be in the lead too. So they scored and made it equal. The game went to extra time again, and substitute David Trezeguet scored a golden goal.
That's an E there. Trezeguet, the great Argentine, of course, Italian roots, but played Argentine roots, but played for France in the end. the most deadly man you could ever imagine. Juventus great, of course, David Trezeguet. That team led by now coach, of course, Didier Deschamps. And that was when he did the double, one of the very few in the history of mankind, joining Der Kaiser, Franz Beckenbauer, in becoming a player who has won tournaments as the player, Euros, World Cup, and then a manager as well.
There you go. So that was 2 of the same finals in the space of 4 years.
Gotcha. So not the same teams, just the same outcome.
Yeah, sorry, I was reading it way too fast.
It's okay, James. You stop smoking. People need to be empathetic and give you...
I'm coping with a lot, you know.
Yeah.
I really am.
Sure. By the way, that France team, man, we forget. That's Thierry Henry, David Trezeguet, Robert Pires, Sylvain Wiltord is in that team. Yuri Djokaev is in that team. It is an unplayable team. Didier Deschamps, Patrick Vieira in the midfield. And Emmanuel Petit is in that very same midfield. Claude Makelele is in that same squad, by the way. So Christian Karembeu is in that squad, right? You got Lilian Thuram, you got Leboeuf, you got the greatest Basque Frenchman you could ever find, Vicente Lizarazu at left back, and then Fabien Barthez at goalkeeper. How could they not win? Of course, and also Laurent Blanc, of course, the other defender who famously was, before every game, he would kiss Fabien Barthez's head as a little good luck. What a team. Henry and Trezeguet in the same team. Get out of here. With Robert Pires. Mental.
2 more.
Yeah.
Right. And this has to do with Slovenia. Not everybody's first sort of choice of country when it comes to the Euros.
Yeah. Nice country, though. Nice people.
Never been.
Ljubljana. One of my favorite places in Europe. Very, very nice.
Fun fact, during the 2010 World Cup, obviously every school wanted to get involved and give children projects to do with the 2010 World Cup. And we all got given countries. I got given Slovenia.
Okay.
That was my country. Ask me if I remember any research I did on them. Not for a second. Anyway, so 2000, in the year 2000, Slovenia played at its first UEFA Euro, debuting against Yugoslavia. Even though they were massive underdogs, the Slovenians played incredibly well, and by the 57th minute, they led by 3 goals to none. A Yugoslavian player by the name of Sinisa
Mihailovic.
That's the one.
I knew you were going to struggle with that. Of course, Lazio, great set-piece specialist, left foot maestro. Sinisa Mihailovic, formerly coach of Lazio and indeed of what we now know as the Bosnian team. Yeah.
There you go. He was red-carded, and it looked as though Slovenia, because Yugoslavia were 1 man down, Slovenia would make it difficult. Well, not make it difficult, but make it worse. However, despite this, Yugoslavia scored 3 goals in 13 minutes and even had a chance to win. What happened in the heads of Slovenian players is hard to explain, but there's no doubt that this is the biggest meltdown in the history of UEFA Euro and probably in all major national football competitions. This failure meant that Slovenia crashed out and never returned to the Euros again.
Wow.
As for Yugoslavia, they went into the second round, but were also left out of the Euros since Euro 2020.
Yeah, listen, of course, now Yugoslavia now broken up. Serbia, Montenegro, Croatia. You include parts of like Kosovo. So the old Yugoslavia split into a few countries. So imagine having all of that talent all as one. I mean, Croatia, good enough on their own. Last World Cup final. They're just a tiny little island, really. But you think of all of those countries, put them together, you got a problem on your hands. Serbia, strong team as well at a time, you know. Matic.
All the itches.
Vidic. Yeah. So, yeah. Bosnia was half decent as well. So, Herzegovina. Bosnia and Herzegovina, they are now.
Edin Dzeko plays for them, right?
Yeah, he does.
Damn. Last one. Spain and the Netherlands is always a fun fixture, right? Especially in recent years because of the World Cup final, and maybe in my life it's just a fun thing because brother sports Netherlands, I support Spain.
Gotcha.
So in my life that's always a fun fixture. In 1984, that wasn't around my life. Spain and the Netherlands played in the same group with only one winner qualifying for the Euros. Before the last round, teams were leveled on points, and when Oranje destroyed Malta 5-0, everyone assumed, hey, it's just going to be the Netherlands that are going to qualify. Good stuff. That's because Spain because the Oranje beat Malta 5-0, Spain needed to win by at least 11 goals to qualify. Are they going to do it? Is the question.
It's true. This is a cliffhanger.
Oranje fans started celebrating early, as though Spain led after 15 minutes. Malta equalized only 10 minutes later. At the end of the first half, it was only 3-1 to Spain, meaning they needed to score a goal every 5 minutes to succeed. How exciting, guys. It's just exciting.
You're a good storyteller.
I'm so excited for myself.
Yeah.
What happens? By the 84th minute, Spain had already netted 9 goals.
That's insane.
So it's 3-1. They netted 9. It takes them to 11, 12.
12-1.
Maths was never my strong suit. And Spain ended up winning the game 12-1 and finishing first in their group. To this day, no one really knows what happened. A couple of Maltese players claimed that Spanish players used doping while their teammates were drugged. One explanation is that Maltese players were too tired as they were seriously underprepared after playing against the Netherlands only 4 days earlier.
Maybe they were a bunch of poodles.
What?
Maltese poodles.
Oh. Whoa.
Yucks. All the yucks.
Ew.
Yuck.
Ew.
All right. Those are interesting. Very, very interesting. 12-1. A couple of brown bags maybe slipped under the table. You know what I'm saying?
I don't believe it. The Spanish are honorable people.
No, fair enough.
They're an
Honorable bunch.
I think I'm having a
fair
stroke
enough.
again.
Fair enough. Listen, I'm just saying what could have happened. You have to be open to it.
Look, the boys did the business,
12-1.
12-1.
Is that the... I've never heard of 12-1. That's a cricket score.
Well, I mean, a couple of years ago in South African football, there was that team that won like 24-2 or something.
Yeah, but that was Sundowns against, I forget who it was against. That's like an amateur team against the richest club in Africa. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, makes sense.
I guess Malta as well. Malta's really a holiday resort.
Malta's not exactly...
No, it's a holiday resort.
Exactly.
Literally, I'm telling you, that island is a holiday island.
Half the players were probably mechanics and engineers.
Yeah, and what's it? Team building experts, you know?
Yes. Yeah.
You know how you go to every resort and there's the like constantly upbeat guy,
dude.
old Charlie, who's wearing his slacks. He's got the chinos and tucked in golf shirt.
How are you so happy all the time?
It's his job. Yeah, those are the Oaks that came and were trying to stop Spain. Yeah, I mean.
Damn. And that's the list. Shall we jump into YouTube comments?
Yeah, sure.
Shall we? Datra says, hi. Hello.
Hi.
Brother Tristan says, so happy to see all the boys back together again.
Good to have Paolo back.
He does ask me often when Paolo's coming back.
Today. The answer's today.
I did send him a message. And I told him, Paolo's going to be here, son. Kuthe says Sanchez 8 out of 10. Well, I mean, doesn't he have to play a game to give it a rating?
No, he played last night. Yeah, but played well. He played well last night, dude. Renato Sanchez.
Oh, I was thinking about...
Alexis.
No, I was thinking about Jadon Sancho.
What? But he's written Sanchez. So are you aware? You know what?
I got a lot going on.
No, let's do this properly. Are you aware that Sanchez is a real name? That's a different...
Yes.
Sancho...
Yes.
Is it?
And what makes this worse is I'm actually quite a fan of Renato Sanchez.
Okay. So what happened there now?
I quit smoking and a lot's going on in my life currently.
That's such a crutch, dude. I'm using the I survived COVID thing for a while. Whenever like I do something stupid, I'm just like, I'm a COVID survivor. I feel like people need to say that as well. Like, stop saying, oh, I heard you had COVID. Like, excuse me, are you the COVID survivor?
Yeah.
Bloody right.
My smoking thing has to be the same.
I mean, okay.
Lots going on in my head. can't smoke.
Fair enough.
There you go. Dill says Chelsea. I think you and Dill are the only two excited about winning the Champions League. Honestly.
In the world,
Yeah.
do you not have social media?
I do, but when Liverpool won the Champions League, everywhere. You'll never walk alone. Jurgen's a messiah. You're the greatest. I haven't even seen highlights from that game, dude, since the night of the Champions League.
In fairness, your excitement, the global excitement was you hadn't done anything for 30 years. Or like 25 years at that stage, or 20 years.
That is true. That is true.
Yeah. So for Chelsea, it's just another day, you know? And for the world, it's like,
I'm sure
okay,
it is.
oh, well, they won it again.
Okay.
Roberto Di Matteo did it before, you know? It's not...
Okay. Andrew Harrison does not like Phil Collins at all. And that song you were asking about.
I want to be your substitute.
Yes.
Is that what he said?
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Because also when I Googled that person, the first song that came up was Substitute. What was the person's name? Cindy
Alta.
Substitute was the first song that came up.
Went to number 1. And by the way, she is an absolute firecracker. I met her here in the studio. Just phenomenal. Absolute firecracker. You can see why she is a pop star. Just phenomenal. Big time. Chakras firing on level 6 awareness. The best.
Has she won any Grammys? Not that that defines anything. I just want to know.
I don't know. But that song went to number 1 in the world. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. All right. James, good stuff today.
Good stuff.
Good to have Paolo back.
I
I
have
mean,
to stretch. I'm tired now. These shows take a lot out of you, you know?
no, I don't know.
Oh.
What are you tired from? Did you do the walking yesterday? Did you walk?
I did walk.
Have you found any other middle-aged women to walk around with?
No, nobody walks in my complex. No, there's a guy that I see when I get home. He's
Okay.
still in his work clothes and he's on his phone walking around the complex. I see him quite
Oh, yeah?
often. Then there's an Indian lady that walks with a little doggy.
Yeah, have you chatted to her yet? Because you know what happens with those types of people is you got to be careful to get caught up, right? Is that then it becomes about, I heard the water wasn't working 3 weeks ago. What happened? You know those types of people?
Mm-hmm.
Just like, those are painful.
You have to catch up on events that have happened before
And they just, because that's their, you middle-aged women that walk around the suburbs, James, as you know,
Yeah.
because you're slowly evolving into a middle-aged woman now.
I am.
James said to me the other day, yeah, I can't wait to get home and walk.
I'm walking now, guys.
I was like, oh,
Also, people may think that walking does nothing,
yeah?
but actually, walking does do more than you think it does. So I know running is the objective. People want to run. Lose
By the way,
weight.
that hasn't told me anything.
No, but walking, it gets blood pumping to parts of the body.
You're just telling me stuff that happens.
It makes your legs strong.
Are you feeling it? Like, how long are you walking, would you say? Like a kilometer? If you're just in your complex. Do you live in one of those, like, summer con things?
What's a summer con?
Like, where it's like 400, where people live like cockroaches, and there's like 400 apartments in one block. And like 8 swimming pools.
No, there's one pool for everyone, and there is 2, 4, 6 apartments in one building.
How many blocks?
Several.
So it's like at least 150 people living in your complex. I haven't really done the numbers in my head.
Yeah, maybe a little bit less.
Okay, so it's a monster. It'll happen. You're bound to run into, it's that lovely boy James. James, you want to walk with us?
I do
by the way,
walk-
my granddaughter's coming up from Cape Town next week if you want to come.
Like, no thanks, lady. I'm busy.
Wow.
I got my own stuff, lady.
I'm a good Christian boyfriend.
I'm loyal. Loyalty is rare these days, lady.
Yeah, that's true. All the good ones are taken.
Exactly.
So, okay, James slowly evolves into just a middle-aged woman. He's walking everywhere. It's, he's interacting. He's with people. He's doing stuff. Soon he'll be that lady he's going to have Crocs and sweatpants that are too long, and he'll just be walking to the shops like that. And it just won't matter because he's done all he has to for society. And
I do have sweatpants.
I'm not shocked. You're a middle-aged lady. All right, Jimbo. Good stuff, Paul.
Good stuff.
Good stuff. All right, Jimbo, we'll see you tomorrow.
Righty.
By the way, if you are looking for the podcast, I had somebody slide in the DMs and go, I'm looking for Cliff Central Sport. Can't find it anywhere. I said, mate, you are looking in the wrong place. It isn't the Cliff Central Sport podcast. It is the MKT Show. You can get that on cliffcentral.com, the Cliff Central app, or wherever you get your podcast. It should be Pocket Casts if you actually have anything about you. But if you're an Apple Podcast, please give us 5 stars and give us a rating. And I'm not like one of these other people who think, give us 5 stars, please. Give us 5 stars, and then, I don't know, get back to, I don't know. James, what do you people do that are middle-aged women? You're probably making those ham sandwiches.
What do middle-aged women do? Nails, maybe? No. No, the laundry. I'm doing the laundry.
Is that sexist? I can't comment on that until we've decided. A little bit sexist.
No, it's not. No.
So are middle-aged women just doing laundry?
I do laundry.
Oh, it makes sense. You're a middle-aged woman.
Everyone does laundry.
Well, I mean...
It sounds sexist.
I mean... No, it's not. Especially now that you've like brought it around.
Exactly.
Like you are a middle-aged woman. You do the walking and the laundry. Middle-aged woman.
I just need the, like, what are they called? Spanx or spandex or whatever it is. Those tight gym pads.
Yeah. Do you want to be like those yummy mummies? Maybe that's what you could be. You could evolve from...
Cap that doesn't have a top. It just comes around.
That's what all the like northern suburbs yummy mummies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's always the black and white Nikes. Like the black shoes, white Nike.
Yeah.
Makes spotless.
Yeah. And the makeup's perfect.
Yes.
How you exercising, your makeup's perfect. Unbelievable. And they've always got their phones, that massive like phone with like a bright pink cover.
Yes.
It can never just be the phone like a see-through cover. It's always a bright pink cover with bunny ears.
And then they pull it out and they're like, who's calling me while I'm working? And they do the... Wait, the camera's not on me.
Do they do this one?
I hope the camera's not... I hope this camera's not that. They do this one. Who's calling me during this workout?
Can't see it. Nobody can see it, James. They do that one. Yeah, I know.
They stretch their face for some reason.
Okay, James, developing from middle-aged woman to yummy mummy. That is his dream. We all have our dreams. All right, Jumbo, to everybody at home, I hope you've enjoyed being with us today. Paulo Diaz, great to have him back. 24th of June in 2021. For today, ladies and gentlemen, I'm MKT. The show is named after me, and it's really, really important to keep repeating that because you just can't say a good thing enough times. Ladies and gentlemen, for today, this has been the Cliff Central Sport and indeed the MKT Show. From me, James Jimbo Illingsley, a middle-aged woman developing into a yummy mummy. We are the hell out of here.